Or is it more than that? Or is it 15? No, it might be 15.
Hi, guys. It's Amanda over at Amanda Reads, and I'm here with Fiona from Reads and Eats.
Hi, guys.
And we are discussing what is potentially our 13th or 15th. One of those.
Okay. I can't remember. I think it's been a while. It's been a while.
13th or 15th buddy read. And we read this over this summer. And the book that we read is called Hidden Currents by Christy Barritt, which is the first book in a series called the Lantern Beach Mystery Series. And this book was free, I think, back in June when there was like a Kindle day.
Yeah, I think so,
a mystery day on Amazon. So this was free. And I think it's cheap on Kindle Unlimited as well. Fiona, did you already own this book?
I think I did. I think I probably got it in another like free day like a couple of months ago, and it appealed, and I thought, fine. And I mean, for us, it's a kind of a departure to what we normally buddy read. So it's nice to have another genre, which is good.
Yeah, I agree. Do you want me to give the synopsis?
You give the synopsis.
Okay. So the main character in this series is Detective Katie Matthews, but in this book, she is going by the name Cassidy Livingston because she is kind of living under a secret identity because there is a bounty on her head from a gang that she was a part of when she was undercover before this book. So you don't really get too much of that. You get little flashbacks, but she's moved to this little island. Is it an island?
Yeah, I think it's an island.
Beach town. I think it's an island. And when she's there, pretty much like as soon as the book starts, there is a body that washes on shore. And so she kind of starts to realize that there might be some connections between the body that comes up on the shore and her past. So she starts to get invested in the investigation, even though she can't give away that she's a detective. So it's kind of how she moves through keeping up with the investigation, getting involved, but not wanting anyone to know that she's involved, and the people that she meets along the way.
Yeah, that's good. She also drives an ice cream van that has a life of its own.
Yes, that's true. I forgot about that little detail. Yes, part of her new identity is that she's the ice cream truck driver, which is a cute little. Those are those little elements that make it like a little cozier.
Yeah, and also the fact that it's the ice. Am I right in thinking the ice cream van is supposedly haunted?
Yeah, Elsa,
yes, that's right. Yeah.
So, let's start with what we thought of the book. Fiona, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first. I actually enjoyed it. I gave it 3 out of 5. I did enjoy it. I thought it was a good first start to a series. I liked the town, and I liked the characters that she met, and the way that sort of her next door neighbor is his name Ty. He kind of sort of looked out for her, but also tried to bring her into his friend group at times. And the friend group, the ladies from that friend group, really did seem to take to her and really liked her. I also like the fact that she started to become, more involved with island life. I liked that she was in the cafe one day, and she was sitting at one of these, at the counter, and like one of the older gentlemen in the town started talking to her. And if I'm right in thinking, was he the ex-sheriff?
Yeah, he was the previous like police chief or sheriff, whatever they were calling it.
Yeah, so I did like that. I thought it was a good build up and good world building to start with. How about you?
I also gave it a 3. I did enjoy it. I think that sometimes what lowers my rating for a mystery is if I don't feel like it's super high stakes, because I like that like anxious, like, oh, this is like a really big deal. But I appreciated that it wasn't like that as well, because I liked that there was a lot of humor in this book. So like it'd be really serious, but then you'd be cracking up. And so I liked that it like kind of had that easiness. So if you're not a huge like mystery reader, or you don't like graphic, like too graphic thrillers or anything like that, suspense novels, like this is the type of book that you probably would like.
Yeah.
I liked that there was like a subplot of romance, but it wasn't the focus, and it made sense. It wasn't just like, wait, why are all of a sudden now there's like romance in here? It actually naturally progressed and was good. I liked the characters that we met, like you were saying, the townies. I liked all the little townies and her little ice cream truck. But I would just say that I think that there were times where things, were stated almost like they were more high stakes, like very intense, but it didn't, but it didn't necessarily feel like the characters were taking it as seriously as that. Like, I didn't feel like the police officers in the book necessarily acted like they would in real life. They were a little too like lackadaisical.
They were. That's one thing I did think. I thought they were like, they were kind of poo-pooing it and going,
they were like rookies. Like, she was doing better than they were, and she wasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that little bit was a little unrealistic, I feel like.
There was also, I should say, she's kind of, she's undercover, not undercover, but she's got a new identity. What did leave me wondering is that now I can't remember, was it her ex-boyfriend or ex-fiance? He phoned her on the burner phone, and he's not supposed to.
Yeah, I think it was Fiona. No.
Was it? I can't remember, but he was definitely boyfriend or fiance, and he wasn't supposed to phone her on the burner phone, but he did. And my brain immediately went, is he working with the gang so that he can basically leak where she is? I got untrustworthy vibes from him, I have to say.
Exactly. And I think they want you. I think that's what they want. And there are definitely a lot of red herrings throughout this book, kind of like that either don't get addressed yet because this is a series. So I think that is something that will be addressed in later books.
Yeah.
And then other little things that they had like as red herrings, like when her house was broken into. Yeah. And like you were kind of led to believe like the gang has found her, but then it turns out like it was related to the body that washed up on the shore and other stuff like that. Yeah. But I agree, like the second he called her, and they kept going back to before the book where she was almost killed.
Yes.
Because they found out that she was actually a cop and she wasn't really like a gang member. Yeah. And they kept going back to how like someone had to have leaked her location before. Yeah. And like, it just seems like, the boyfriend's sketchy. And that's kind of like why I want to keep reading the series, but I'm not super invested. But I wonder if you'll get more from before these books are happening throughout the rest of the series, like more flashbacks, because we did get flashbacks where she admitted that she had been on the drug that they talk about in this book, and that she had done horrible things while she was on it. So it's like those types of things, like I need to know more.
Yes, exactly. So I think kind of without giving anything away, that the body that's washed up on the shore there are people from a corporation come for a summer holiday, in quotes, and two of the guys go out fishing, but it's a stormy night. And that immediately, I was like, why the heck are you going to go out on a stormy night fishing? And then we got this sort of the talk about drugs, this new drug that's coming into the town or even into the country. And I was like, okay, this I think has got to be kind of drug related. So you've got that as well. But I didn't feel that, as you say, that the police were taking it majorly seriously. Whereas the ex-police chief is like, you let me know what you find out. You're in a great position. I don't know how he knew she was possibly ex-police. I can't remember whether she told him. I don't think she did.
I don't think he necessarily knew that. I think that he just like, she was asking the right questions to him. And he was kind of like, oh, let me know if you find anything out because you're already better than our current chief. Like, I don't know that he necessarily knew.
Okay.
Because I feel like Ty was the same way. Like, he's like, why are you asking all these questions? How do you know? And remind me if you can, does she, at the end of this book, I forget how it leaves off. Like, I forget, does she ever tell Ty? And like, yes, this will be a spoiler. So if you're going to read this, go away and come back. But
I don't think so.
I don't remember how it ends.
I can't remember either.
I'll pull it up. But I'm just like, I forget.
I've got a sneaky suspicion it doesn't end with her revealing who she is.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so either, because I think she's staying. The whole thing is like she's staying on Lantern Beach.
Yeah.
She hasn't been found out yet by the gang. So this whole series is going to take place on the beach. So I think I just forget. I think she just like, it just ends. Like they solve the mystery and it's just done. And like, I don't think she's broken up with her boyfriend or fiance.
No, because doesn't she let, for use of a better word, her handler, does she not let him know that her boyfriend stroke fiance has got in touch with her?
I don't think she does. He's like her coworker, right?
He's a coworker. He's the one that's arranged for her to go into hiding.
And he's the one that showed up when she was in that like safe house.
Yeah.
Right? And then that was crazy. See, those are the things that I want. I want those little clips. So that's why I could keep reading because I need to know what happened before, because that seems like the bigger part of the story.
I think so as well. I think it's like, hopefully, as you say, we're going to get more snippets of the backstory. I mean, put it this way, let's fast forward to the end of book 6, which we haven't read. But if it goes to what we would think is a stereotypical plot line, she'll put the baddies away, probably find out that the boyfriend stroke ex-fiance is working with the baddies. And he'll be put away as well, and she'll end up marrying Ty. There you go. There's your plot line.
Possibly. I know, that's why it's like I don't really want to read the next 5 books. I just want to know like what happens. Because it is one of those, like, this type of mystery book is one where it like kind of like you know how it's gonna end, probably. Like there's gonna be a happy ending. Yeah. Kind of like when you read a romance, like it's romance, so there's gonna be romance. Like
yes, yeah, and it's also, I think with this cozy, I have to say that the gang, the scene at the very beginning where the gang discover who she is, that was gripping. That was like, whoa.
When they're like in the alley or something, like they're like all surrounding her. Yeah.
How are you going to get out of this?
Yeah.
You know, that was gripping. So you hopefully that the next ones will weave bits of that plot back in.
I mean, all of these books in the series have pretty great ratings. Like every single one is over 4 stars. However, they don't have many ratings. They do all have at least like 1,300, but like in the grand scheme of things, it's not that many. But the people that are reading it really like it. Like I think the first one, let me see. The first one has the lowest rating at 4.21.
Wow.
So from here, it's all 4.5, 4.6. Like they seem like they get better.
Okay. And do they wonder, I take it they're following the same characters?
Or yeah. And it's every single one is her. It's the same person on the cover. It's all, and she's still going by Cassidy. Okay. And it seems like from some of these synopses that what you're saying is very much happening. But yeah, there are 6 books and it is finished. There's no more books coming out. But I think, like you said, maybe like that last book is where everything is going to come together and it's going to go down in that last book. Because I bet like books 2 through 5 are like, I'm still hiding. They haven't found me. I'm solving all these mysteries and I'm going to be in love. And then at the end, it's they find me and here we go.
Yeah. Oh,
The
well.
last one, Deadly Undertow.
Ooh. So what are you going to do? Are you going to read 2, 3, 4, and 5, or are you just going to skip to 6?
I don't know. I might just, so here's something else I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
This is Lantern Beach Mysteries,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's a ton of other Lantern Beach series that she's written. There's Lantern Beach Blackout, the new recruits. It looks like it's about attractive men on the cover. Lantern Beach Romantic Suspense, Lantern Beach PD. So she like did a bunch of spin-offs.
Oh, right. Okay.
And I'm wondering, this is just going to ruin it all. Do you want me to ruin it all?
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask you a question. The spin-offs, do they come after the last one in this series? By the looks of it.
Definitely Lantern Beach PD does.
Okay, right.
And it has Cassidy in it.
Okay, I kind of worked out where that one's going, right? Okay, fine.
Yeah. So obviously, yeah. So it seems like, long story short, she's staying on Lantern Beach.
Okay.
And then it looks like some of the other ones, like Romantic Suspense or the Blackout, like those don't have the same girl on the cover. But the Lantern Beach PD has the same girl from Lantern Beach Mysteries on the cover.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it says that the first book in Lantern Beach PD is free for Kindle Unlimited.
All right. Okay.
Which I don't have, but
neither do I. No.
But, you know, do you ever do Kindle Unlimited? Have you ever done like a free trial?
I've done it once, I think, but I don't think I made enough use of it. I kind of did a free trial and then, didn't make enough use of it. And I thought, no.
Yeah, so I don't know if this is like a fluke or what, but anyone watching, they might not do this anymore, but like you can do your Kindle Unlimited free trial for like, I don't know, sometimes they do like 3 months for $0. And then like 6 months later, you're usually able to do another free trial. So I don't pay for Kindle Unlimited, but every couple months, like maybe twice a year, once a year, I get a couple months of Kindle Unlimited for free, even though I've already done the trial. Now, they may have realized that that is a thing, and they might have stopped that from happening, but it might be worth a look.
It might be. Might be a way to read the other books without actually having to pay for them.
Yeah, maybe.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So, what else do you want to talk about with this book? Let's see.
I like the way that she got the was it the daughter of one of Ty's friends?
I think it was a niece.
Or was it a niece? She actually got her to drive the ice cream truck for a while so she could do other things, which I thought was great. And the niece was good. I thought it was interesting that nobody would tell her why the locals wouldn't buy from the ice cream truck. I thought that was quite funny.
I thought it was going to be like this. I was like, what is wrong with the ice cream? Like, what is wrong with the ice cream? But yeah, it's just, and those are those little details, like those small town, like myths and stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like legends and those little things make it more well-rounded than like it's just purely a murder mystery.
Yeah. I also like the fact that the man that was initially arrested for the murder of the guy, I liked that she tried to help his wife and kids, where everybody else in the corporation who were there for the holiday basically treated them like a pariah. I thought it was awful.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I liked that. She like built up those connections and then you like cared and you were more invested to see, these people seem so nice. Did the husband really do X, Y, and Z? And so it was a lot of character, like it was very relationship driven.
Yeah.
And her having to make connections in order to progress in her own investigation. So I like that. And I'm hoping that, I mean, again, I don't have any intentions of continuing on with the series, but the more that we're talking about it, I'm kind of questioning that.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll see like the same people, because we should, because all these people live on, besides the corporation people,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
the friend group and everything, they all live on the island full time.
Yeah.
So
Yes. Yeah. I would hope that she doesn't have to give away who she is. She can still live, you know, anonymously, as it were. But you hope that she will start to kind of make friends with Ty and his group, his friend group, and that in the end that she'll be able to trust them as to who exactly she is, etc. You know, you hope that that's what's going to happen.
yeah, definitely. And I'm worried. I kept thinking to myself, I forget what his name was, her coworker that knows where she is, the only one that knows where she is. I keep worrying that he's somehow involved, but I don't think this is that type of book.
I don't think so. I mean, for me, my suspicions, as I say, are on the boyfriend stroke or fiance, whatever he is.
Yeah.
I just think he's a bit sketchy.
She made some comments too, like, was it that he didn't want anyone to know they were dating?
Yeah,
Something
because
like that. And so to me, I'm like, oh, you don't want anyone to know you're dating. So nobody knows, right? Does nobody, except the guy that knows where she is. I think he knows that they're dating. But like, he doesn't want people to know. So it's like, now no one knows that the two of you are connected. So if you do something sketchy and, or like if she turns up dead, no one thinks to look at you.
Yeah.
So I'm already thinking kind of along those lines. And he was an attorney or something, right? He was in law.
He was in law, or was he law enforcement as well? Or was he a lawyer? I can't remember. It was definitely in. He was in law enforcement or a lawyer, something along those lines.
I think he might have been a lawyer,
which would possibly point towards him possibly being connected to the gang.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I feel like he worked with the law enforcement, but I think because he was some sort of
Was he a
lawyer.
DEA or something like that?
Maybe. I feel like something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because he had knowledge. What?
So folk were watching going, did you two actually read this book?
I know. I mean, we read it a couple weeks ago, and that's the thing is like I would say that it is kind of forgettable, but not really, because I think if you read a lot of books like this, it will be easily forgettable.
Yeah.
Do you agree? Because you read a lot of books like this.
I read, and I don't read as much probably cozy mysteries as I used to. But that's hopefully, you know, but yes, I think the characters in the plotline were not, shall we say, majorly stand outish, that you're like, oh yeah, I really remember that. Because when I was sort of thinking about this morning, I actually got this book completely confused with another one.
It's not a totally unique premise.
No, it wasn't until I actually went and read the blurb. I was like, oh right, that one.
Yeah, whereas I don't typically read, I guess tame, like as tame of, like I usually read like more graphic or more intense thriller, suspense, murder stuff. So this actually stands out to me because it was like more gentle and enjoyable still.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was an enjoyable read, and I did enjoy it. So you know, from that point of view, it was good. You know.
Yeah, I think that this would be good for if you're the type of person who doesn't like to read super heavy like thrillers or suspense novels, or you don't like things where like children are harmed or animals, anything like that, like where you like it to be, I don't know what the word is, like less emotionally heavy, but you kind of still want to like solve a mystery. This is that type of book.
Oh yeah. And I mean, what I would say is that there is mention of drugs and drug drug use. So if that's
And
not
violence.
your thing, and violence, if that's not your thing, I would say give it a swerve. Not that it's top heavy or anything like that. They're just snippets here and there.
Yeah, I would say that in this particular book, it's more like the drugs are referenced and not super detailed. But I think that moving forward in the series, there might be more information or more examples of it. So yeah, that's definitely a good trigger warning.
Yeah.
And what was I just going to say? Forget. I was going to say something related to this.
I'll come back to you.
Yeah, I would say it's more character driven.
Yeah.
So if you do if you like that community feeling too, like a community coming together to work together to solve something, or like the trope of like new girl in a small town, like those kinds of things. Yeah. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. The book cover is like super dark. And I was thinking like, oh, I'm not going to want to read this in the summer. But then when you read it, it's actually like a summertime mystery.
It is a summertime mystery, yes.
Yeah, so don't judge it by its cover.
No, it'll be interesting to see, are the rest of the books more, shall we say, also seasonally appropriate?
I mean, they all take place on this beach island. So I don't know, but I feel like the author, I don't know.
She's also,
other like seasons are incorporated.
Yeah. I think the author did a very good job of building up the community and the town, and actually describing the town and the area around about it. I thought she did a really good job of that. It's almost as if she's picked somewhere she knows. Excuse me. This is my yoga class, my yoga lesson getting back to me. So she's picked somewhere that she knows really well and just put it in a different location.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it was very picturesque. The descriptions were good. And like I said, like it's weird because it's like a summary read, but it's kind of dark. And so I liked it. Yeah. It was unlike a lot of things I've been reading. So I appreciated the change of pace. And I feel like I read it fairly quickly. Like once I got into it, it did keep my attention. It wasn't too slow, too fast. It was a good speed.
I mean, I think I got through it in 2 days.
Yeah.
It's not a long book again, which is quite nice. With some sort of thrillers, you're like, oh, come on. Even if they are turning your pages, you look at it, I'm not actually making any progress.
Right.
But with this one,
I think it's only like 200 pages.
Oh, well, that's fine.
Whew.
You okay?
Got a tickle.
Oh, no.
All right. Those allergies are kicking in. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Don't think so. I mean, I'd be really interested if people go and read this. Come back and chat with us in the comments, because it'd be really, really interesting to get your perspectives as to what you think about it. I think that'd be really interesting.
Me too. And I do think it's interesting that I've never read this author before. I don't know if you have.
No, this is my first.
I do think it's interesting that when you look at Goodreads under the genres, the second genre is Christian fiction, but I don't feel like religion like it was just mentioned, but it wasn't so much that I would feel like I would classify it as Christian fiction. No. So if you're looking at this on Goodreads, just know that if you're looking for something that is Christian fiction, I don't know that this is what you're looking for.
No, I don't. I would agree with that. I mean, yes, Ty and his friends they're all part of a Bible study group, but at no point in the book, I think that's the only time, a couple of times that is mentioned, we don't actually see them doing any Bible study or anything like that. So, it's very, very loose connection, I would say, to Christian fiction.
I would agree. And maybe that changes later in the series, but I don't know that that's the most accurate genre for this specific installment of the series. Yeah.
Yeah.
All righty. So
That's
that's all we have for you about
my
Hidden
gosh,
Currents.
this is a half an hour. We're getting slower, dear.
I know. All right, so that was Hidden Currents by Christy Barritt. Again, that's a Lantern Beach Mystery series. It's a 6-book series. It's been out for a few years, not super rated on Goodreads. So if you read it, definitely give it a rating or a review on Goodreads. And let us know if you like it.
And hopefully we'll be back. Well, this is August, maybe October.
Yeah.
With
something.
Another live, with something. It could be a live. It could be a book review. It could be a craft thing. You just never know what you're going to get with us.
No, you'll have to wait and see. All right. Thank you for watching, guys. Please leave us a comment. Bye.
Bye.